Welcome to my unboxing and first look at the Aspire M from Acer. This is part of a refresh of Ultrabooks that are coming in at lower price points than the original slew of Windows 8 touchscreen devices that came out when Windows 8 launched. So that means you're going to see a couple of compromises that you didn't see on some of the launch products, but again, the benefit is that it comes in at a lower price point, making a Windows 8 touchscreen notebook more affordable to the general consumer. So inside the box, we find a few different things. So number one is we get a summary of all the things that are great about the M5. Our particular configuration has 4 gigs of RAM, a 500 gig hard drive with a 20 gig SSD cache. So there you go. We've got that in a number of different languages there. We've also got a power brick, as with, well, pretty much all Ultrabooks, although this one is particularly slim. As with all Ultrabooks, the power brick is quite slim, so we'll do my trademark cell phone comparison so you guys can see the overall thickness of the included power brick. This is actually a very important thing for notebooks, for me anyway, because the notebook itself can be as portable and slim as it wants, but at the end of the day, if the accessories that you have to carry around with it are bulky and heavy, then you're not really getting any benefit out of that lightweight, slim device that you've just purchased. So, comes with a power brick. Next up inside, we've got not a whole lot there, and some disks, permanent storage. Oh, look at that. That's cool. So it comes with an M disk. If you guys aren't familiar with M disk, it says what it is. It's permanent storage. So it's a recordable media that lasts for over 1,000 years, or up to 1,000 years, or whatever. By the time you burn media to it, and you'll be long dead by the time it actually degrades in any meaningful way. So that means that the drive included with the Aspire M is also M-Disk compatible, meaning it's manufactured by LG. So speaking of the optical disc, I'd like to show you guys, yes, this is an Ultrabook with an optical drive. So if you do need a DVD rewriter in your portable notebook, say for example you watch movies on DVD or whatever else you carried around with you, this guy's good for about 5 hours of battery life with a disk spinning in the drive, or about 8 hours of general usage according to Acer. So that means you can actually take it with you on a flight and watch a couple movies on DVD if you want to do that. All of this while maintaining that Ultrabook level of slimness in order to get that branding from Intel. Also included inside is your traveler's warranty. So this right here actually has a couple things. So it's got some quick sort of start guides. How do I access the Charms menu? How do I get to start, for example? It also has their international traveler's warranty, so it's a 1-year international warranty. I personally think every notebook should have an international warranty, but not all of them necessarily do. So if you take your notebook and travel to another territory, another country, your warranty claim may actually get rejected by the regional office because they're not the ones who sold you the notebook. So Acer makes sure that that gets taken care of. We've actually booted up the notebook already, and we are basically going to show you that yes, it is indeed touchscreen. It's actually a 10-point multi-touch, so we're going to just, oh yeah, start menu doesn't do that anymore. See, I always forget these things now, so we'll go here and search for Paint, which is my favorite application to show off a 10-point multi-touch screen. So just go ahead and, what'd I do? Acer Photo. Okay, apparently comes with a photo management app. Let's go back here and go like that. Ooh, very responsive actually. Nice. You see how there's absolutely no delay following around my finger? That makes a very, very, very big difference to the touchscreen experience. So that's not necessarily true of every touchscreen that you encounter. So let's have a look at the device physically. The hinge opens up almost 180 degrees, looks like about 170 degrees. So, I mean, this is just one of those usage scenarios that not everyone will encounter, but I used to walk around on campus in university and just hold my notebook like this and say, type things and browse the web and read things. So, I mean, I know people have tablets now, so that's like not something people might do that much anymore, but I do like it when notebooks open up nice and wide like this. I had one notebook that I found out that some of them are artificially limited. I had a notebook where it opened up about this far, and then my baby came along and pushed on it from the back, put his full weight on it, and it kind of went crack, and then it opened up 180 degrees, and it didn't break in any other sort of meaningful way. So I'm not recommending that you try that with your notebook, but I do appreciate that Acer provides this one stock with with a hinge that opens up wide like that. So the keyboard itself has a nice brushed aluminum finish over the entire top piece here. So this looks like one solid piece of aluminum. Nice large touchpad. It drives me crazy when manufacturers include small touchpads with their notebooks. It is a multi-touch touchpad, so you can zoom in, you can zoom out, you can do gestures in Windows 8 using it. Keyboard itself has a little bit of flex to it, actually not bad. So you're going to be able to type fairly solidly on it. They also haven't committed any cardinal sins on the keyboard layout itself. So you've got long shift keys, a long enter key, and a very long backspace. This is something that I can't emphasize enough. A notebook can be as solidly built and as beautiful as it wants, but if it has a keyboard that's not usable, then the thing's basically not usable. In terms of I/O, we've got a webcam on the front here. On the left side, we've just got that optical drive, so they probably had to clear a lot of room internally. This is a 14-inch chassis, so it's got a 1366 by 768 screen, if I didn't mention that already. So it's a 14-inch chassis, which means that about this much of the internals is taken up by that notebook alone, meaning that they had to sort of reconfigure things a little bit. So on the front, you find just a power button, an indicator LED, and then a battery notifier. You've also got an SD card reader on the right with a headphone microphone combo jack on the right as well. Wouldn't mind seeing those as discrete jacks because not everyone necessarily has a headset that uses a single jack. On the back, you find exhaust, power in, 2 USB 3.0 ports, as well as HDMI out, gigabit Ethernet, and a Kensington lock. One of those is a charging capable USB 3 port, which just means it outputs more current so you can charge your tablet or whatever else you would want fairly quickly. The back of the device has, again, a kind of a very professional looking brushed aluminum finish to it with a simple Acer logo. So while this notebook may not sort of look that different from what anyone else is using, it won't stand out as being an eyesore or anything like that. So it's compared to $799 machines that we've seen in the past, it's a huge step up in terms of not only the look, but also just the overall build quality. There's not a whole lot of flex to the chassis itself. And you can see that the way they've designed the hinge is very robust here as well. So they've actually got, rather than having the screen go all the way down to the hinge point, they've separated a little bit here to make it, in my estimation, what they're probably trying to do here is make it more resistant to accidental drops if it were to land on a corner. It's going to be less likely to damage the actual screen area. So there's a bit of a plastic buffer around here that should actually help with that. So on the bottom, you don't find a whole lot. You've just got screws so you can remove the entire bottom plate if you need to get at anything inside. And then you've got a couple of ventilation holes here, as well as 2 stereo speakers and rubber points here for making sure that it doesn't slip around while you are using it. So we're going to wrap up with a couple straightforward points. All your usual sort of hotkeys exist on the function keys themselves, so you can adjust your brightness, you can adjust your volume, wireless, all of that good stuff. You can also access most of these things through the charms menu these days, though, so you can see brightness is just like that. Here, this is something that should have come around on notebooks a long time ago, but I'm happy that it finally has, and that is Backlit Keyboard. So the Backlit Keyboard on this notebook actually adjusts itself for the ambient light that's around you, and it uses an electroluminescent backlight, so that is just, it's slightly different from an LED backlight. It's very bright and shines not only around the outside of the keys, but also through the letters themselves, making it very, very easy to see what you're doing in the dark, whether you're working, on a plane where they've turned the lights off or whatever else the case may be. Spec-wise, it has a Core i5. I don't believe I actually mentioned that before, and I think I made some notes for myself on the, So the only other thing is just clarifying what it means to have a 500 gig hard drive with a 20 gig SSD cache. Some people, I guess the purists, will say that that's not good enough, but remember guys, Intel's Ultrabook spec requires fast wake-ups. So I'm going to close the lid so I can put it in sleep. And you're going to see that what an SSD cache does is it gives you a lot of the responsiveness of an SSD without the additional cost, and it allows you to have the capacity of a hard drive. So it still wakes up nearly instantly, even though it doesn't have a full SSD. Thanks for checking out this unboxing and first look at the Aspire M Touch from Acer. Don't forget to subscribe to Linus Tech Tips for more unboxings, reviews, and other computer videos.